project 1, I'm going to walk you through how to make a new document and a couple things to help you get started. As you will see in your project 1 guidelines, your document size is 11 by 17. So when you go to Illustrator, this is the sample I have. We're going to recreate something similar. Go to File, New Document. Make sure that you have inches selected over here. If you don't, you'll wonder why your document's the wrong size, and you're going to type in 11 by 17 right here. And then you don't need to worry about any of the other advanced options right now because you'll be turning this in digitally. So you hit Create, and there's your 11 by 17 document. Now, a couple of things to help you get started. You need to familiarize yourself with this toolbar over here. You have Direct Selection and Selection Tool, Magic Wand, Pen Tool, Line, and Shape Tool. Those are some things that are going to be really helpful at first. You'll also need Scale and Rotate. Another thing that's helpful is to turn on your rulers, and you can pull guides from there. So if your document looks like this with nothing on the edges, hit Command R, and your rulers will pop up and you can pull guides from there. So if you look at this document, first thing we're going to do is create some shapes. Now you can do these with the line tool or the shape tool, however you prefer. If you're going to use the line tool, you would start off by making a series of lines, and then you can play with the width and the properties of the lines, the weight of the lines, and that would be over in the stroke, or if you have your properties palette open, it's also over here. Another way you can do this is with the shape tool. So you could make a rectangle, and then if you want it solid black, you just make sure the fill or the stroke are selected. If you want to use different colors, you'll have your colors over here, and you'll also have a swatch library. So you could utilize either of those in order to get the colors that you want. Your appearance and all of these choices, you'll learn more, like transparency, color guide, things like that. You'll explore more as you get more in depth, but keep it simple for now. You don't have to use color. You can work in black and white, or if you are choosing color as one of your properties, then you'll definitely need to play with color a little bit. Anyway, we've got this shape selected, and then I want to make 3 more lines that are different sizes. So as you can see, when I copy something, I have this selected with my direct selection arrow, and what I'm doing with my keyboard is holding Command and Option at the same time, and then Shift as I drag that over. And you'll see when I hold Command, Option, Shift down, and I click on that shape, it lets me copy it over. So I have my direct selection arrow, and I'm just going to scale this to a smaller size, and then I'm going to copy it 3 times, and then I'm going to adjust the position. If you want to select something all at once when your direct selection arrow is selected, you can swipe over all of them while you hit Command, and it'll grab all of them. And then if you want to play with your Align tool, you can decide how you want those to be aligned. Because I copied one, let me go back. Delete that. So I copied one over, and then I hit Command D, and that will automatically pull the same width. Now say I didn't do it like that, and I just copied one over and then copied another one over it, but I still wanted the width between all of those to be the same. That's where you'll practice with your Align tool and get those all set up the way you want. Say I wanted the alignment between all of these lines to be consistent, I could use that as well. So after I've got that where I want it to be, I can group these if I want to so that they're one element. Then I'm going to use my Type tool, and under my character properties, I'm going to select bold and then use the scale tool to make it a little bit larger. So you guys can play around with these, and then I want line, and I want that emphasized less. So I type that out, and say I just typed it out like that. I also have the option to go up to Type, change case and change that to, oops, that was title case. Let's see, type, change case, uppercase. There you go. So you guys should really play around and find these options. They'll make a lot of things easier on you once you really get into more complex designs. So now I have line, and I want it to be light so that there's contrast between those two. And then, like my previous design over here, I added an extra line in between those two. And see, this doesn't have a stroke or a fill on it, it's a line, so I want to add a black stroke. And then I think I want to just make it a couple points darker. And I want these two things centered, so you'll see here that I selected, right now I have my line tool selected, but you don't have to go through your toolbar and toggle to your same tool every time. If you have a different tool selected, like the type tool or the line tool, and then you want to use your selection arrow, you can hold down command and it automatically turns that into the selection arrow. You can grab those, center them, group them, and then I have this grouped and this grouped, so I'm going to grab both of those and center those together. And then say I just wanted to use my rulers, make sure my guides have all of this in place. I can bring down a guide here. I can even bring down a guide on the side if I want, and see how those are slightly off. I could get the direct selection tool, click on just that edge, and toggle it over with the arrows on my keyboard in order to line those up precisely. So there's a lot of different things you can do. These are just a few things to help get you started. Remember, if you study key commands, it'll make your job a lot easier. You can use the shape tool, you can use the line tool. Don't forget that you can use the command key between tools in order to get your selection arrow to pop back up. You can use the alignment palette in order to get your things aligned on your artboard the way you'd like. Anything that you can't find, say I don't have my color that pops up automatically when I open Illustrator, you can find anything in window, and then I get that back up. So make sure you explore your windows, explore your type options and your object options, and just get started. If you have a really clear vision of what you want to execute through your sketchbook, that'll make this step a lot easier on you, and you'll come in here knowing exactly what you need to do and how to get started. So once you've got something like this created, you want to make sure you save it as a PDF. That's in your project guidelines. It says to save it as a PDF. So the way you save Illustrator files as a PDF is really simple. You want to save it as an Illustrator file. If you go to Save As right here, you'll see that it starts off as an AI file. And you'll want to keep it an AI file while you're working on it, but when you're ready to upload your project, you'll want to name it according to the project guidelines. So I would name mine Cordova, J, Project 1. And then down here under Format, that's where you select PDF. So then you hit Save. I already did this once, and so I just hit Save As, save over it. And then under Adobe PDF settings, you'll want to do High Quality PDF, and then you will save it, and then that is the file that you'll upload. And so that's just a few things to help you get started. Let me know if you have any questions. Really explore these tools, see what you find useful. There's always several different ways to make anything that you want to make. It's just finding out what's easiest and works best for you and how to achieve the final look that you want. Okay? So good luck.